Peace to the gods. Walking on this plane of chance and opportunity and change and ingenuity. Come in the room. This is about to be a good one. This is about to be a good live. Everybody come in the room and share the video, man. Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods. I'm saying, if you're not studying divine knowledge of self and proclaiming your kingdom, you most likely the lower self. You know what I'm saying? Because in this age that we're going into, this age of Aquarius that we're coming into, you have to be able to master yourself for your family. And your family is your frequency. So it all starts with self. Everything starts with self. If you're not mastering how you think and how you feel and how you act, then how you gonna be of benefit to any village or any tribe or any family? Because you're not gonna be able to be a benefit to anybody or to your own if you're not a benefit to your own self. You're not gonna be able to benefit anyone if you're not a benefit to your own self. Family is frequency. So however you're thinking is the type of people that you're going to attract. However you're thinking is the type of people you're going to attract. Everybody coming in the room right now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Announce yourself. You know what I'm saying? I love myself, God. Always remember that you guys stay on the Christ consciousness and share the video. Share the video. So, in order to master self, what you have to acknowledge is that you have a mind, and without your mind, you wouldn't even be able to perceive this reality. Okay? So a lot of people victimizing themselves, a lot of people thinking, stuff just happening to me, but no, it's happening for me. That's what you got to change your mindset to. For everything that you think negative, you must balance it out with the positive thought. That's the only way you're gonna be able to maintain and stay in balance and keep your heart as light as a feather while becoming the higher self. You know what I'm saying? And maintaining the balance of the middle self. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep a balance, to keep yourself even-tempered, and to keep yourself logically thinking while still imagining your goals or your aspirations or your heaven on this kingdom of heaven. I mean, on this plane of chance of opportunity or change and ingenuity, and bringing it into fulfillment. You see what I'm saying? Peace to the guys, Thomas L. and Vivi Queen. Y'all share the video, man. Y'all know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's up. So the way to, you know what I'm saying, redo your thinking space is you have to look from a healthy perspective. I mean, it's just simple. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why, I still give reverence to Baba G, because he simplified, you know what I'm saying, basically a lot of esoteric information. He simplified it for the dark brown, you know what I'm saying, the light brown, the melanated man and woman walking this plane, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta simplify everything that you've been studying, everything you're doing. When you can do it to the point where it's simple, and you can explain it simply, then that makes you a genius. Because like Einstein said, the people that can explain things simply are geniuses. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing, but the people that explain things simply are geniuses. The people that make things more complicated, they're the ignorant. You know what I'm saying? They're ignorant. They don't actually know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you really know what you're talking about, you're going to be able to explain it very well and very easily. So when it comes to enhancing yourself or bettering yourself and keeping yourself balanced, you got to first know yourself. How you going to know yourself? You got to first, like I said, you got to think, man. You got to think. You won't perceive any of this. Without your own mind, you wouldn't perceive literally anything, period. I mean, no matter what it is. Without your own mind, you couldn't see it. So for you to give your power away to things that you see as outside versions of yourself, and situations and people, and you know what I'm saying, just acting and doing things that are not of total benefit to what you see as your heaven, then you're being a detriment to yourself. You're the only thing that exists, because your own mind is what is perceiving, emitting, and receiving back, you know what I'm saying, this reality, your reality, everything that you see. I mean, am I not making this simple enough? I can go into the semantics, I can go into the details, I can go into all that, but it's plain and simple, man. Without your mind, you couldn't see this shit. Without your mind, you couldn't act in this shit. You are important, okay? You are very important, man. This is the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of you. The kingdom of heaven is you. You see what I'm saying? The kingdom of heaven is literally your body be perceiving, everything that you might think is outside of your body, and everything that you may even think is outside of your body through the illusion of separation is you as well. All of the energy is in all of this stuff that's around you that you're seeing is all energies that's accumulated that makes up your body. So everything is literally you. I mean, everything is literally you. This is the kingdom of heaven. The people are in the illusion of separation. Now, let me explain some of the details, because I just simply explain, everything is you and how it can be you in the simple way. So now for people that need that little push, let me go ahead and, give you some intellectual facts that you might need to research, study, or, you might be reminded of if you already know, or is in your DNA. Let me help you. Let me spark you. Let me bring it out of your DNA real fast. Okay. So what's going on is, okay, everything is you. We can plainly see that, you know what I'm saying? Without your mind, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Well, why do certain situations happen? Why do things seem like it's different from me? Why do things seem separate from me? This is because everything is you, but everything that you experience is just different versions of yourself. Okay? Now, this is where we get into quantum physics. Everything that you're observing, depending on your perception of what you think is nearer or farther, or your perception of what you think is, hotter or colder, or you think it's going left or it's going right. All these different things, all these different dual perceptions or dual aspects of things, is the way of looking at reality through duality is what makes all these different versions of yourself. Okay? And through all these different versions of yourself, is to acknowledge your infinite self. Okay? Through all these different versions of you, is to acknowledge that you are an infinite being. And that's just another way, that's the other spectrum, through the law of polarity, that's the other part of the spectrum of looking at you being the all, or you being everything, and you being heaven, and you being God, and this is your kingdom. Okay? You being God, and this is your kingdom. You cannot be Christian, bruh. You cannot be Christ consciousness. You cannot be what you want to call divine or righteous. If you are not looking at how you are one with things and not separating yourself from it. You cannot say that you are a righteous man. You cannot say that you are morally righteous. You cannot say that you are you can't say you a Christian. You can't say you a Muslim. You can't say, you know what I'm saying? You can say you're a Muslim, because Muslim literally means under the submission of the will of Allah. But you cannot say that you know what I'm saying, are a supreme being, or a god, or a goddess, or any of that, or anyone that's following any teachings that say, you know what I'm saying, that follow any type of God or anything. If you're not a true follower of it, if you're separating yourself from that. If you're separating yourself from the source of what you're saying all your energy comes from, and all of your light and your love and your grace and mercy and all of this, and you're separating yourself from that and saying, like, I can never ever do that, or I can't be that, so I'm going to hold on to this. I can't do that, so I'm going to hold on to this. That's creating separation between you and that idea. Holding on to the idea in that way is beneficial to a point, to a degree, but the best way to go about it, the objective way to go about it through scientific facts, through scientific information, is to actually channel that and embody that principle, that idea, or that God, or that deity, or that set of rules and instructions to live better and to live heaven on earth. Embody that and be that and proclaim that. We all have our fuck ups and our and mishappenings, but those are just perceptions. Those are just perceptions. Everything is perception. Everything is you. This is the kingdom of heaven. All the processes you got to go through and all the quote unquote obstacles are actually pushing you forward into progression, into overcoming the fallacy of you being separate from yourself. That's the whole point of existence. That's the whole point of your mind existing, so that you can exist infinitely, so that you can know that you are an infinite consciousness, and that whatever you speak will not return to you void, because out of the void it came. See what I'm saying? If something comes out of nothing, then that something is forever, because it has always been. If something comes out of nothing, then that something is forever. That something is infinity, because it has always been. Because nothing is not a starting point. Nothing is just a place for where it's just a perception or a conceptualization of knowing that things constantly come from a source over and over and over again. There's infinite things. There's infinite sources. You constantly come from something. So there is no beginning or end. Your mind has no beginning or end. When you begin to think in these perspectives, these higher perspectives on a daily basis, knowing that without your mind, nothing exists. Without your mind, there is no body. There's no body. You don't have a body without your mind. And without your body, there is no experiencing a reality. Without a reality, there is no mind. You see? It's vice versa. It all connects. It's a cipher. Now, in this cipher, you have all of these different things around you. In this illusion of separation, you have all of these. You have the trees, all these different animals on the earth plane, and plants, life, and then you got clouds and the sky, and then within the heavens, or the heavens or the sky, then you see all these different planets and stars and all this stuff. Okay, so what does all of this mean? If all of this is my mind, and I'm just looking at different frequencies or different points of view or different versions of myself, then what does all this mean? All of this is interconnected. It means if everything is you, it is all interconnected. If everything is you, it is all interconnected. Okay? So that means that everything is corresponding with one another. This is quantum. Quantum means things that correspond with one another, if you don't already know that. So every little thought that you think is correspondent to everything that's happening in reality, period. In infinite consciousness, in infinite reality. So the way you move, every little thing that you do, the way you move, the way you present your energy to your illusion of separation or this reality, then that's on a cosmic scale. On a cosmic scale. So what's happening is your mind has always existed. You have different states of consciousness. These different states of consciousness are unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and conscious full conscious awareness. Okay? The unconsciousness place is what we could like to call the nothingness or the void. Let me break down all the reality for you. It's what we like to call the nothingness or the void. This is your true self. This is a part of your true self. Okay? This is where the illusion of separation starts. Okay? Then you have Then you have the subconscious, which is the infinite, possibility of everything that could be, all the possibilities that you could ever think of in your imagination, everything that you could think of, period. Anybody could think of. Anything you can imagine exists. Okay? This is the subconscious. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. And then you have the conscious mind or the aware mind, the piece of the mind that can analyze the spectrum piece by piece within detail. Piece by piece within detail, and have experiences within these different possibilities or thoughts or realities that stem from the nothingness or the void. Okay? So, as you come back into consciousness or the conscious awareness of specific things within the subconscious, which is the realm of possibilities, the quantum field, okay, which is encased in the nothingness, which is simultaneously the nothingness, okay, and you're shining your light with your conscious mind on these different specific aspects and experiencing these realities, your mind begins to get programmed, and your subconscious mind gets to send specific programs to the conscious mind so that it can experience realities. So what is happening is everything that you're seeing is a symbolic representation. Everything that you're seeing is a representation or a form of a thought. Everything that you're seeing is a representation or a form of a thought in your own mind. Okay? The thoughts make feelings, the feelings make actions, actions make realities. And then you have to receive that reality back into the conscious experience. So what's happening is these are symbols. The tree is a symbol. The grass is a symbol. The why it's green. The colors are symbols. Shapes are symbols. Sounds, tones. All of these different things are symbols for certain types of thoughts that we think. So when you look up in the sky is a symbol for something. The clouds are symbols for something. The sun is a symbol. The planets are different symbols. They're each different symbols. The stars, everything is a specific symbol. The blackness behind the stars, okay, is a symbol for something. Now, I just explained to you the process of consciousness, the process of how the mind works, how every single mind works. Doesn't matter who you are. This is how it works. So now you can begin to see what is he symbolizing. Everything that you're seeing is symbolizing your subconscious mind. It's all within your subconscious mind. When you look into the heavens, or when you close your eyes, because as above, so below, as within, so without. This is the law of correspondence, the law of quantum mechanics, how things work. You close your eyes, you go into the symbol or the thought form of the void or the nothingness or the primordial waters of Nu. You go into this quantum field and you begin to imagine. Imaging is the subconscious mind. That's how the subconscious mind works. Through you constantly imagining certain things, your subconscious mind gets programmed and sends that programming into your conscious mind for your experience. So if you ever wonder why things are happening in your life and you think it's something bad, whether you think it's something good, whether you think it's something bad or whether you think it's something good, things are happening in your life because of subconscious programming, because of what people are imagining and how that is reflecting back to you, okay? Because of what you're imagining and the quality of that imagination and how often that people or you imagine those thoughts, okay? So if anything happens, you cannot separate yourself from the happening. You are the source of the happening. You are the one that makes the happening. Victimization is only a concept. Victimization is only a perception. In the objective reality and the scientific reality, that there is no victim. You're making everything. This is a game. You are making up all of these symbols so that you can see your own mind. Instead of just being in nothingness, in the void, in complete, what we could call complete darkness, which is the symbol of the void or nothingness or infinite consciousness, you are literally manifesting tests for yourself. You are literally going through shit for yourself. You are literally going through hell for yourself so that you can make it heaven. So that you can forget who the fuck you are and constantly remember. So you can stay in these different states of heaven. Push yourself towards these different states of heaven. The devil is not separate from God. God makes the devil so that humans, or through our human experience, our finite experience, can have challenges or obstacles to overcome. The devil is there to help us. You see what I'm saying? The devil is there, the adversary is there to bring obstacles, to challenge us so that we can overcome them. But when you have the perception of, I'm going to overcome them anyway, or you have the healthy perspective of knowing that, okay, I am God. I remember I am God. Without my mind, none of this could happen. Without my mind, none of this could be. I'm going to overcome it. You're in the Christ consciousness now. That's what the Christ consciousness represents, the Christos. The Christos represents you being in tune with your God status, you being in tune with your God self, you being in tune with the void, the subconscious, infinite realities, infinite possibilities, and the finite conscious mind that explores the individual aspects of infinite realities. You being aware of all of this. So you can't blame anyone for anything. When you going through something, now you can't blame anyone for anything. Because you know you're God. Because you know you're heaven. Because you know you're vibrating on a state of consciousness or a thought frequency that allows you to see life for what it is. Allows you to not separate yourself from what happens in your life. And to know that what happens is for you because you made it for yourself. And it's not just happening to you or against you. It's a we thing. Because it's an upside down, because when you reflect that, it's a me thing. What happens in the we is a reflection of me. This is what you got to think about. What happens in the we, in the WE, is a reflection of me. And when you turn we upside down, when you reflect we upside down, it becomes me. So you see what I'm saying? This is what you gotta do, reflection. This is what you got to do. You got to start thinking. People want to do a lot of shit in this realm, in reality, but they minds ain't right. You want to do so many things, but your mind ain't even prepared. You got to go through so much shit, your mind not even prepared to even get what you're trying to get yet. That's why you haven't got it yet. That's why you can't just right now. That's why you can't just think of some shit and it just pop up out of nowhere and you automatically got it. Because you got to go through some shit. You got to go through an experience and you got to contour the way you thinking. Now, what will make this easier, okay? Just a little bit easier and more detailed for you to get through this evolving of your mind and your consciousness and developing a better way of looking at things so that you can manifest faster and manifest quicker and manifest the way you want to think and feel and be at any given moment, is astrology. I just explained. All of this is a symbol. Okay, that means as above, so below. Everything that you're seeing is in the stars. What's in the cosmos is on Earth. What's on Earth is in the cosmos. This is simple natural laws, 101. The first law is mentalism. All is mind. I already explained that. You know what I'm saying? The second law is vibration. Vibration, everything vibrates, everything moves, everything is constantly changing. Okay? See what I'm saying? The third one is correspondence. Everything is corresponding to one another. That's quantum mechanics. That's quantum physics. I already explained it. See what I'm saying? Everything is corresponding. As above, so below. As within, so without. You know, and I'm not going to go through all of them. But what I'm telling you is that as above, so below. This is a symbol of your mind. The earth plane is a symbol of your mind, and it corresponds with the cosmos, which is also a symbol for your mind. All of this is symbols. This is a mental realm. It's an infinite mental realm because you are an infinite being reflecting self back to self through situationships. Through situations that help you travel from one place to another within your mind, from one state of consciousness to the next, from one thought form or reality to the next. This is your reality. So we have to study astrology because the sun represents your expression, the sun represents your conscious expression. Okay? The sun represents your full expression. Okay? What's behind the sun, or should I say the light of the sun? The light of the sun represents your full expression of self. Okay? How you immediately give off your presence. You see? How you immediately give off your presence and your essence, your individual expression. That's what the light of the sun represents. But what the sun actually is the void. What the sun actually is a compartmentalized part of the void that is shining expression through it, that is shining specific concepts of the mind and perceptions of the mind through it. So this whole earth plane that you're seeing is just a perception of your mind. It's a dimension. This is a dimension. You know, people talking about 7, 11 dimensions and all this other, you know what I'm saying? You're in a dimension of mind. And when you change your perspective, then this dimension changes into another dimension. It's just that when you go into the quantum realm, or you go into sleep, or you go into a meditation or astral plane, you're changing it so fast. You know what I'm saying? There's different states, like it's different states of matter. You got liquid, solid, gas, and plasma. When you go into these different states of consciousness, very quickly you're changing states of matter so fast, of what matters so fast, that you're seeing a whole different perspective that, you know what I'm saying, you might not think it's connected to this reality, but it's all connected. It's all connected. So astrology is very, very important because astrology is the science of how the planets and the stars, how astronomy connects with biology, how the planets and the stars connect to the earth. Okay? And to individuals, all the individual beings on the earth. This is why it's very important. Astrology is the mechanics of how your soul works. The sun is your soul. The light of the sun is your soul expression. What I'm saying, the sun is a symbol. Everything is a symbol. The sun is your soul. Your soul is nothing but void consciousness. Whatever you put into it, reality must conform. And like, your soul is your body, your soul is the earth, your soul is the cosmos, your soul is everything. Okay? Any part of the reality that you can see and compare yourself to or connect with or correspond with, which is everything in the illusion of separation, is your soul. But when you portal into this reality, when you portal into this state of consciousness, this state of giving yourself a chance and an opportunity to be better, giving yourself change and ingenuity so that you can see how great you are. You know what I'm saying? So you can see how full of greatness you are, and your gratefulness, so that you can be grateful for what you have. You see the greatness in every single thing that you are and not separate yourself from it. When you portal into this realm, all of the planets are moving. Everything is moving. That's the law of vibration. They're moving in different ways. So that means that different parts of your mind or different thought forms or concepts are interacting with each other in your mind all the time, constantly, infinitely. It's always happening. And when you portal in, you portal into your family or your root frequency in a state of a certain type of thinking. so that you can be able to go through this game, so that you can be able to start the game with the right state of mind, basically. So you can be able to start the game with all these different energies and accessories and tools, which are basically your aspects and your planets and your signs and your houses. Okay? Your aspects, your planets, your sun, your signs and your houses. Your aspects, your planets, your signs and your houses are your tools and your accessories, and the environment, everything in your environment that you need to start the game. These are programs. This is a holographic reality. These are all programs. You see what I'm saying? All of the energies that's coming from the cosmos are beaming into the earth plane, are beaming into your consciousness and from your consciousness simultaneously. These are symbols of your mind. This is why it's so important. This is why it's so important. The reason it's so important is because once you learn the different symbols and the mechanics of consciousness, of how your mind works, from when you ported into here and you were stamped with specific concepts and ways of thinking, and that's stamped into your genes, due to it being as above, so below, the cosmic energy becoming earth plane, the earth plane energy being at one with the cosmic energy, your genes or your genetic expression and who you portal through, your parents, your mother and father, once you begin to see how those genetics work, then you will begin to see how every situation is being contoured for your conscious mind to experience it. Okay? Then you will begin to see why you're going through what you're going through. You'll begin to see why you react a certain way. When you study your sun, you get to see why you fully express yourself a certain way. Why do you express yourself a certain way? When you study your moon, you see why do you feel a certain way at specific times when certain things happen. When you study your Mercury, you ask yourself, why do I think a certain way, and why do I communicate with others in a specific way? Because Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury is the planet that adjusts the different ways that we communicate. Okay? When you study your Mars, that's initial instinctive reaction. That's what angers you. That's what you get mad about. That's what your innate desire or your initial desire or instincts, how you act, how you initially act. Mars is the planet of war. Mars is a planet of initiation and doing things. How do you actually go about acting? How do you actually go about, acting in your work? How do you actually go about working? How do you go about responding, instinctively responding to your situation? Is your Mars in Aries? Is your Mars in Aries where you just instinctively act out without properly, analyzing or assessing your thoughts? You just instinctively, you just go, you do. I mean, that's a good thing, When it comes to the Mars, that's an exaltation because Mars is the planet of acting out, instinctive things. So it also depends on what house it's in. The house is just the different sections of the placements of where the astrological signs or their energies are being held around the plane, around this plane of existence. They move counterclockwise, and the planets in the stars and the signs, they move clockwise. So it's like they're moving in opposite directions, but it's similar energies going on. It's this conversation going on. It's this communication between all these different concepts of your mind interacting with one another. And when you begin to look at where your placements are and what aspects are in your natal chart, once you look up your natal chart and you begin to study it and you begin to correlate it with what's happening in your life, and you begin to see certain things happen, you begin to see why you speak a certain way, why do you react a certain way when certain things happen, why do you attract certain type of people into your life and have relationships with them, why do you like certain types of sexual encounters, why do you like watching certain things, what information are you interested in, what do you like to do, why what you don't like to do. All of these specific things are in your natal chart. And if you're going through anything right now, anything that you don't really like, is because it's a part of you that you are not aware of. It's a part of you, a piece of your own mind that you are not aware of, and you don't know how it works, but you're just experiencing it, and you're still in that piece of your mind. You're still in the illusion of separation and the state of forgetfulness of how much you're God. In that little piece of your chart, in the little piece of your mind, of your soul, your mechanics of how your soul works, and how your mind is making things happen. This is what you need to keep in mind. You are a born God. You are a literally incarnation of cosmic energy. You are an incarnation of cosmic energy. Right now we are in space. Right now we're in cosmic. We're in the, there's no way around heaven. There's no way around heaven. There's no way around hell. You have to go through things to get to where you want to go. You have to go through hell or unforgetfulness and the illusion of separation to get to heaven. That is why this video game is set up the way it's set up. This holographic universe is set up the way it's set up. All of the planets are mechanisms that your mind uses to manipulate the different programs and manifest the different programs of the game. They're symbolic representations or little knobs and swindles and you know what I'm saying, and willies and, you know what I'm saying, just different tools. These planets, all of these are different tools for you to analyze yourself and become more aware of yourself and to see that everything that you do is connected. Everything that happens is connected. You can't blame anyone for something that you're doing. You have to study your natal chart. See what I'm saying? You really don't have to, depending on your astrological program. Because some people's astrological programs, some people have a lot of water in their chart. Some people have a lot of Cancer energy, or some people have a lot of water energy, like Cancer, Scorpio, or Cancer, Scorpio, or what's the other one? Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. A lot of people could either have you can have a lot of water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy, and what's going to happen is you're going to be so in tune. You're going to be so in tune with yourself that you'll be able to feel other people without even having to study the natal chart. You'll be able to feel other people's energy, or you'll be able to feel your debilitations. You'll be able to feel your demons come up, or you'll be able to feel another person's demons. You'll be able to feel people without even really talking to them. You'll be very in tune. But on another note, still, it is best to get your natal chart so that you can see the specifics. Because you could have debilitations to where you feel some type of energy, but you don't specifically know what's going on. So you can't even address it within yourself, because when you feel somebody else's energy, it's really you. When you feel like something is going on, that's because you are feeling something that you have done. You are feeling something that you have manifested, or that you have materialized from your thought space, or your creative thought space within your brain. That's a symbol of the mind, a symbol of your mind. This is why astrology is so important, because even though you're already acting out your astrological energy, you can't fully know yourself until you have went and dived deep into your psyche and dealt with all of the traumas and fears and anxieties and mental blockages that's blocking you from fully expressing yourself in tune with divine knowledge of self, in tune with divine knowledge of self, in tune with being God and being a healer and being righteous and being within the Holy Spirit, and thinking these types of thoughts as much as possible so that you can get out of this realm of chance and opportunity and pass. So that you can pass this game. So that you can beat this game. So that you can get out of this realm of chance and opportunity and get into the realm of change and ingenuity and get into the realm of heaven. Get into the kingdom of God by knowing that you're God. If you say you're a Christian, you're not really a Christian until you know what Jesus actually taught, or Yeshua HaMashiach actually taught. If you don't know what the Christ consciousness is teaching, whether you believe Jesus was a real person or not, it don't matter. It's about consciousness. This is all an illusion. The semantics really don't matter at the end of the day. What matters is the objective facts that I'm telling you right now. And what I'm telling you is that Christ consciousness tells you that you are one with the Father. You are one with the Holy Spirit. You are one with humanity. You are one with nature. Stop separating yourself from situations that happen and victimizing yourself and getting angry at people and sinning. Sinning because you are stuck in the illusion of separation. You reacting to such situations in a way that you don't recognize that the situation is you. So study your natal chart. Study what these aspects are. Study what your debilitations are. Study what your angels are. Your angels, get your natal chart. Go to astrotheme.com. Go to astromatrix.com. Go to tarot.com. Any way that you can get your natal chart and get your star facts, man. Any way that you can get your star facts, get your star facts. Period. Get your star facts. And if you don't got your birth certificate, find out what the fuck it is. Real talk. That's why for over thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, for forever, we have been taking note of specific times that, the cycles of time. We have been taking note of the cycles of time and how they correlate with us as human beings. For thousands and thousands of years, we have been taking note of the different cycles of the planets and the stars and the signs and the different states of he goes through. All these different civilizations, ancient civilizations, we have taken note of these things so that we can be more accurate with knowing ourselves. So that we can be more accurate with doing what we can do to better ourselves as humanity. And for any astrology, you must not be on the Christ consciousness. You must not be yet. You must not be aware of yourself enough yet. Coming into the age of Aquarius, where you will literally know everything, and all truth will be shown to you. Someone talking about astrology, you say that it's not real, okay? Or you say that you don't need it. If we didn't need it, it wouldn't be here. If we didn't need it, people wouldn't be doing this for thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking years. If we didn't need it, people wouldn't be constantly and consistently studying the stars, getting astrolabes through astronomy and telescopes, and studying these things and studying how it relates and corresponds with our existence. If it wasn't actually of a benefit to us. This is not no spookism. This is scientific fact. This is not no imaginary, just hoodoo, you know what I'm saying, like magical trick shit. This is not fake. This is real deal shit. Every day of our lives shit. Seriously, then you don't take biology seriously. And biology is the study of all life on Earth. The study of all life, period. And all life stems from your mind. So all mind is you. Every situation that happens to you in the biological aspect and the astrological aspect is you. So if you don't care about astrology, you don't care about yourself. If you don't care about yourself, then you're not even going to study yourself to understand yourself and fully love yourself. This is what you got to do. If you really want to be righteous, if you really want to be a God, if you really want to be living in heaven, if you really want to be living in peace and prosperity and just chilling, like in balance. If that's really what you want to do, then you're going to look deep into the details of your psyche. Study your astrological natal chart. Get your birth date, time, and place, and put that information in on any site. And Go to an astrologist. If you need help, message me. If you need help, message me. This is all for the help of humanity. This is all to help humanity, period. No matter what your color is, no matter what type of mutations you've been through and stuff that you didn't, our civilizations have been through and how we migrated on the earth and changed and adapted to all these different climates and stuff. At the end of the day, at the end of the life cycle, all that matters is that we are one. All that matters is that you are one with everything. That's all that matters. And in order to know your oneness or oneness and see how your piece of the oneness affects every single material and atomic structure of this existence, you need to study the psyche of the mechanics of your psyche, which is astrology. The mechanics of your genes, which is astrology. A lot of scientists, they have technology where they can just look at your genes now. They can look at your genes and see which type of genes do certain things, how those genes being expressed make up certain bodies. The average person does not have that. But what do we have? We have astrology, man. As above, so below. You don't have the tools and the techniques, all these different mechanisms to take a piece of somebody's hair, look into their motherfucking DNA or a piece of their skin or one of their skin cells, and look into their DNA and actually see all their genes and genetic makeup and family history and all that shit. We don't have that. But what we do have is astrology. What we do have is the mechanics of consciousness. What we do have is how light beams from the DNA and shoots through the motherfucking sun to hit your motherfucking eyes. How it all connects within a cipher. That's what we do have. You see? That's what we do have. We have the tools. Now it's time to use that shit. Stop fucking victimizing yourself and stop fucking sitting around telling people what they can and can't do when you need to be doing what you need to do in your motherfucking life, which is becoming more aware of who you are in reality. Period. We don't have these tools and mechanisms to look down with a microscope that zoom down thousands and millions of motherfucking into some shit to look at it and see the damn little hairs and see how that shit work and all the little ATCs and Gs on our DNA strand that tell us what genes we have and how we can express them in specific environments. But what we do have is astrology, which is the same thing. It's correspondent, man. It's the same fucking thing. Your astrological placements are your genes. Your astrological placements are your genes. My sun in Aries in the 4th house. That's a gene. This is what I'm telling you, reflection. That's a gene. My sun is in Aries in the 4th house. That's a gene. My moon is in Aries in the 4th house. That's a gene. Okay? That's a gene. My Mercury in Pisces in the 3rd house, that's a gene. My Mars and Cancer in the 8th house, that's a gene. Okay? My Saturn is Aquarius. My Saturn is in Aquarius in the 3rd house. My Saturn's Aquarius in the 3rd house. That's a gene. All of these different planets are symbols of your mind. Saturn represents how you challenge, what challenges you. How you challenge yourself to be better in what type of situations. And then you have aspects that get even into more detail, which are genes that are being expressed within specific environments. When you get into a certain mind state, these specific genes get expressed. Like I have a Mercury opposition, like I have a Mercury opposition midheaven. Opposition is something that could be bad, but if you work with it, it'll be a good thing. Your midheaven deals with something dealing with how you work, how you professionally work, and how people see you as a good worker. My midheaven is in Virgo, so in order for me to be a good worker, or no matter what I do while I'm working, the things that people will see in my field, the things that people see about me is they see that I'm very detailed in what I'm talking about. They'll see that I'm very organized in how I speak. They'll see that I'm very intellectually you know, in inclusive. That I'm very intellectually distinctive is what I'm saying. Very intellectually distinctive with what I do and what I hold to be my profession. That's what people are going to see about me. But see, because of how I think, which is Mercury, Mercury deals with how you communicate with yourself and others. And my Mercury is in Pisces in the third house. Pisces is about the subconscious, is deep into the imagination. In the third house is Gemini energy. The third house is Gemini energy, dealing with your tribe, dealing with your family, dealing with communication. So the way that I communicate with myself and others could be a detriment to me when it comes to my midheaven, because I could get lost in my own imagination. That's a Mercury opposition midheaven. That means that your Mercury is somewhat opposing your communications. Your communication with yourself and others is somewhat opposing your ability to be seen as a good a professional worker. Okay? All of these things are symbolic. These are genes. All of your aspects are genes. All of your aspects are phenotypes. Your placements are genotypes. Your aspects are phenotypes. Now, what are aspects? I told you, everything is correspondent. So your biology is your DNA, the sun. Astrology. Biology, DNA. The sun, astrology. Biology, DNA, the sun, astrology. This is what you got to understand. The sun is the void. The sun is all things. The sun is literally everything. The only reason we see the sun as separate is because this sun that we see in the sky is being a symbol for the light being expressed. All of the different stars. All of the stars are suns. Okay? So biology, DNA. Astrology, the sun. Correspondent. Okay? All life is the sun. Now, these different suns, or these different lights that come out of different parts of the sun, are what we like to call stars. Okay? And what's behind that is what we like to call black holes. Okay? These black holes is melanin. These are melanin. This is where it relates to biology. This is neuromelanin. This is neuromelanin. So you're literally within your own body, fam. You're literally looking inside of your own genetics, your own biology, when you're in the earth plane, looking around at different people and in these trees and the animals and the sky and the sun and the moon and the stars. You're looking at different parts of your body. This is why astrology is so fucking important. Stop fucking dissing astrology, bro. This is why it's so important. This is a science. This is one of the main sciences that's going to help us get to where we want to be as a people when it comes to the more melanated being going through the shit it's going through in the world. Because it promotes, astrology is the science of self. The science of knowing thyself. And when you know yourself, then you can make proper decisions. When you know yourself, then you can make proper decisions, make proper conscious decisions, and be able to make the right moves in your life so that you can have the type of life that you want to live. Period. 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 Get your natal chart, man. Get your natal chart, fam. Get your star facts. Let's make it hip. Let's make music promoting astrology. Let's make music promoting genetics, studying your biological aspects and how that corresponds with everything in reality. Because without your body, you wouldn't even be able to see reality. And I'm finna go into that in a bit. Without your body, you wouldn't even see reality at all. So it's just the same way when you close your eyes, you just close off one of your senses. You really didn't close off one of your senses, but you blocked one of your senses from seeing what everything it could see. Okay? So when you close your eyelids, you stop projecting certain things. Okay? In the subconscious mind, you stop projecting and receiving certain things. When you close your eyes, you stop projecting and receiving specific things that your mind can take in and use for the growth and betterment. When you close off all of your senses, let me show you the evidence right now. If you do this, this is a technique, okay? If you do this, it's going to prove to you without a shadow of a doubt, according to your astrological energy, which is why it's good to study your astrology anyway, that the void is you. That unconsciousness is you, that subconsciousness is you, and the conscious mind is all you. That all things are connected. If you meditate and cut off as many senses as possible, you are going to go to your void state. You are going to go to your void state. Now, the evidence of this is when you go to sleep, okay? When you go to sleep, you have 4 different states of consciousness that you are in throughout the day. Alpha, beta, theta, and delta, okay? When you're highly active, alpha. When you're not as active, beta. When you're relaxed and able to take in information like in a studying state or an intellectual state where you're looking for knowledge, that's theta. When you're in delta, you're in a supremely relaxed state, in a meditative state where you're just allowing thoughts to flow and not really taking anything in, but just watching. Okay? Throughout the day, you have these states of consciousness, but when you go to sleep, and right after you wake up and right before you go to sleep, you backtrack through these different states of consciousness, and once you get to the delta state, that happens right when you're drifting off into sleep. The delta state is what you go into, which is why a lot of people they think they just go into nothingness, or you really do. That's what happens. You go into a state of unconsciousness. You go into a state of unconsciousness. And so when you drift off into this delta state, there's many things that you can do. You can either when you go into this delta state, you can either program yourself to go back into the theta state, which is the subconscious mind, the different possibilities of everything that you could take in and observe, and you start to have a dream. And then through this, you could be able to train yourself to make your dreams more lucid and project yourself into the astral plane, or back into the astral plane upon going to sleep, okay? Or upon resting. You can train these different states of consciousness. All I'm saying is facts. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to know. I want you to study this information. I want you to have this information for yourself, because you're a reflection of me. And if I was in a situation where I didn't know specific things, or I did know specific things and I wasn't motivated enough to actually apply or do the work in my consciousness, or do the psychological work, then I would want somebody to tell me. And that's what I got. I got somebody to tell me that and constantly motivate me to tell me to do the right thing. So now I'm doing the same thing, and I'm reflecting that light, and I'm telling you, you have different states of consciousness in the mind, biologically and astrologically, spiritually and physically and metaphysically. You have all these different states of consciousness, and they're all you. There is no one to blame for what you are doing with your own mind. There is no one to blame. As soon as you point the finger, you miss the point. It's as simple as that. So study yourself. Study yourself. Study how your mind works. Study how you see things, because it's not about what happens. It's never about what happens. Get that in your mind. It's never about what happens. It's all about how you respond. It's never about what happens. It's all about how you see it, how you perceive it, how you're looking at it, and the way you act out that perception, the way you express that perception. That's what it's all about. Because it's all you. You can't victimize yourself. Once you notice, there's no longer you can't be a victim anymore. There's no longer being a victim. If something happens, it's because you place yourself in that situation. It's because you put yourself in a certain predicament and you weren't fully aware of what was going on, which is okay, which it happens. It's common. And shit happened. And you know, it just happened because you place yourself there without being fully aware of the circumstances or the possible outcomes of what could happen in the situation that you got yourself in. But when it all comes down to it, you put yourself in that situation. So you can't blame anybody else for shit. Nothing. Blame your chart. Blame your own consciousness. Blame your perspective. Blame the way you looking at shit. Because the only thing that's going on in this realm or reality or what anything that you can see is your angels in your chart fighting against your demons in your chart. It's your angels trying to get along with your demons and your demons fighting your angels. It's your angels trying to get along with your fucking demons in your own mind, in your own chart, in your own expression of reality, and your demons fighting against that shit. Your angels trying to get along with you, but your demons is fighting against you, make you perceive reality in a way that is not beneficial for your journey into higher states of consciousness. It is up to you to make those demons beneficial, make those obstacles through your perception, through changing your perception, through seeing why you think a certain way, through seeing why your perspective, what your perspective comes from. What your perspective comes from. Your perspective comes from your astrological energy. Your perspective comes from your genetic codes that are being expressed from your DNA and through your environment. Correspondence. Simultaneously. It's all you. There ain't nothing else. There ain't nobody against you, man. If you feel like somebody against you, you against yourself. Period. If you feel like somebody's against you, you against yourself. Period. You automatically against yourself. As soon as you start feeling a certain way, you have to stop and think about, why am I feeling this way? What am I thinking? Okay, now that I know what I'm thinking, why am I looking at it to create those thoughts? Why am I looking at this situation or what's happening in my life in such a way to where it makes me think like this? Where's my perspective coming from? Why am I making these thoughts in my head? Why? Because of your genes and your astrological program, your astrology. Your DNA and your astrology correlate with one another. And until you find out what your astrological energies are and what your genetic makeup is, you are not going to be able to change the way you think about situations, and that's going to make your thoughts go into the subconscious mind and program you to constantly experience the same types of thoughts and feelings. And you're just going to be stuck in a fucking loop. Like I said, this is a video game. Everything is going to keep cycling anyway. But as a master of consciousness, I'm telling you right now, you have to jump from one cycle to another. You have to jump through cycles using perspectives. Perspectives create thoughts, but your perspective is first made by your astrological energy and your genetics. If you don't know what you have been through your genetics, through how you have always existed consciously and unconsciously, through the subconscious mind, then you're not going to be able to change. You're going to keep recycling the same situations. I don't care how happy you say you are. I don't care how much you tell your conscious mind you happy and you smiling all day, every day, and you doing this and you doing that. And it doesn't matter if you're not reprogramming your subconscious by becoming more aware of what's in your subconscious. If you can be smiling, you can be happy all day, you can do breath work, you can do yoga, you can meditate, you can eat right, you can do all that, but circumstances will keep coming to your ass, pushing you and fucking making you irritated and making you annoyed and making you fearful and making you anxious and making you all these negative emotions, feel guilty and victimized, feel like shit is happening to you. Situations will keep bombarding you through the subconscious programmed cycles. They will keep coming until you analyze how your whole reality works for you, so that you can change up what happens. Now, it's up to you if you want to still deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to deal with your demons. At the end of the day, if you don't deal with your demons, like I said, you're gonna keep the demons stem from your genetic generational curses. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be healing our generational curses because that corresponds with the cosmology or the cosmological energy of astrology. And when you see how your mind works, you will see how generational curses are being played out in your life. And you will be able to heal them. And the more you respond a certain way, the more frequently you respond a certain way to things that happen, the more you change up the programming of the subconscious mind and the cycles that are happening, and you change up what you begin to perceive through your conscious mind. Okay? You change up what you begin to experience. And the more you do this the right way and with a healthy perspective, the more you will begin to see that you are God and that this is heaven. The more you go through that hell and figure out that hell, the more you're going to see your heaven manifest into your reality. The more you deal with things that are happening in your mind that's blocking you from latching on to your own Holy Spirit, from your own pure thoughts that you can have on a daily basis throughout every day, throughout every now, throughout the now, moment after moment. The more heaven, the more you will see those pure thoughts. The more you deal with those pure thoughts, the more you go through hell and start to rebuke demons, rebuking those demons, rebuking negative thoughts. Because a demon is nothing more than just a negative thought space. And a devil is a being or a reflection of you, a version of yourself that's encased or embodied with demons, or allowing a person that's allowing their demons to fully possess them, or they're fully possessing demons or negative thoughts and acting out those negative thoughts. That's what a devil is. Everything has been broken down simply to us. We have all the information. Let's apply it, gods. We have all the information. Let's apply it. Okay? I'm not just saying this to you. I'm saying it to me because I am you and you are me. This is the Christ consciousness. Get it in your mind. This is the Christ consciousness. And I'm saying it with intensity and passion and high energy, because higher frequencies give you higher vibrations. Higher vibrations give you higher experiences. This is what you got to know, Reflection. I enjoyed this. I enjoy dealing with my own demons through this fucking phone. I enjoy teaching. Find out what you enjoy. Find out why you get annoyed with certain things. Find out what generational curses your consciousness has been through your family lineage by studying your astrological natal chart. Because that's who you are. You are every single person, piece of the sun in your lineage. You are all of your ancestors in one. So if your ancestors did not deal with specific demons before they transitioned into you or transformed into you, then you have those same generational curses, and that's why you look at life a certain way, and that's why certain things happen in your life, because you're projecting that and responding to life in a certain way to make those things happen. And that goes for every single person on the face of this planet, this small plane, or this plane of chance or opportunity that we are converting into change and ingenuity. Study your natal chart. Study your kingdom of heaven and proclaim it. As you're going through these situations of healing your demons and healing your soul, or healing your generational curses and reformatting your psyche to look a certain way, proclaim it. Get online. Get on this internet and speak about it. Because there's someone in the world that's connected to this collective consciousness interface of human beings called the internet that's actually needing this help. That's actually going through what you're going through too. They're going through what you're going through. Stop being fucking afraid to speak out. Because the world is not destroyed by evil people. It's destroyed by good people who sit back and do nothing. It's destroyed by good people who have the power to change but do nothing about it. Do nothing about what they need to change. They do not speak out. And they do not proclaim their kingdom. In the age of Aquarius, I'm telling you right now, if you're not alchemizing all of the energies for yourself and purging yourself of all of your demons and all of your, because they're always going to be there. They're always going to be there. But what you got to do is you got to program your subconscious mind to put them in the background so you can know how to deal with them, so you can help other people deal with theirs. You can overcome them, and you can help other people deal with theirs, so you can create a vibratory state of heaven on this plane. If you're not in the age of Aquarius alchemizing your energy and purging yourself, looking at yourself first so that you can heal yourself, and then so you can heal others, so you can work for humanity, so you can work in a group, so that you can be of service, so you can be of help, so you can practice your skills to the point where you're perfecting them, and you holding on to it and preserving it for the benefit of yourself, which is all of humanity, because me is we. Then you gonna get lost in the sauce, and you gonna be stuck in the hell realm, and that's exactly what the fuck is gonna happen. That shit crazy, man. We got all this good energy. Everybody want to be fucking righteous, but ain't shit happening because motherfuckers ain't online proclaiming the fucking kingdom. Motherfuckers are not studying their natal charts, tapping into their passions and tapping into their energies that they can use to benefit all life, which is self. Stop bullshitting. Stop bullshitting with yourself, worrying about how somebody else gonna see you, man. You worrying about how somebody else gonna see you when you get online? Why? That's you. You gonna let that stop you from being in heaven? Okay, well, be in hell then. Okay, well, be in hell then. Stay in hell. If you're not gonna dive into your psyche, ask for help. If you really want to help, the world and you feel like you need help first, ask for help. Put that vibration out there. Put that thought frequency out there. Ask questions. And then when you get the answer, don't say you don't like the answer, because that's what you need to do to progress. You have to take the answer, apply that to your life to see if it's going to work, so you can progress within your own mind and see what's going on. You can't be ashamed to get on camera. You can't be ashamed to let your voice be heard. You can't be ashamed to sit and write what's in your heart online and put it out there. You can't be ashamed to make specific art and be scared of how it's going to look to other people. You can't be ashamed to want to build something that no one has ever built before, because then it'll never be built. Then it'll never be built. You can't be ashamed to want to build a new structure and order, a societal and political view, and not express it, because then it'll never get out. It'll never be expressed. That part of infinity was never gonna come. And guess what? Somebody else gonna do it, and you're gonna be lost in the sauce. You're gonna be in hell because you're gonna feel guilty for not even fucking putting it out yourself, for not taking hold of what you got in your own heart and expressing that to humanity, because humanity is you. You see me? I don't got my ideal body right now. I don't have my ideal body yet. But you know what? I'm proclaiming that shit. Nigga, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to contour your mind. Your mind contours your body. So the more I know I get my mind right, and the more I rebuke these demons by getting online every day and proclaiming my kingdom and putting my energy out there and things that I'm changing about myself, the more it's going to attract to me what I need to do now, and the more I'm going to be able to change. The more I'm going to be able to change. That's what you got to understand, that this internet is a subconscious mind. It's a part of the subconscious mind. It's a collective interface of the collective. It's a collective consciousness it's a symbolic representation of the collective consciousness of the human mind. So if you doing anything in this reality, if you want to be rich, if you want to be fruitful, if you want to be in prosperity, then you have to study your gifts. You have to study your gifts and put them out. Period. You have to study your gifts and put them out. You see what I'm saying? If you fuck up, okay, then you fucked up. Do you get it? Do you get me? Do you get me? If you fucked up, okay, then you fucked up. You got to look from a better perspective. If you fail forward. If you fucked up, okay, you learn from that. Get up and do it again. Do something better. Stop looking at a situation from a negative standpoint. And if you keep looking at a situation from a negative standpoint, that's something you got to analyze in yourself. You got to be like, why I keep looking at this shit from a negative standpoint? Oh, because of some in my chart, because of my perspective, because of some I've been through for generations before I was even consciously existing in this realm. It's in my DNA. I got to fix that shit. I got to reprogram my genetics. I got to go into epigenetics and reprogram my genes through my environment, my mental and physical environment. I have to change up how I'm living. I have to look at life differently. And the only way I'm going to know how to do that is if I study my astrological energy. Period. That's the importance of astrology. Yeah, and now after everything I just said in this video, if you still don't understand that, man, I don't know. You're going to have to watch this video over and over and over and over again. I mean, I'm going to keep preaching regardless because I got my own life and I got stuff that I want to change. I got stuff that I am changing. See, that's how you got to speak. I got stuff that I am changing for ingenuity. We're changing this plane from the plane of chance and opportunity to the plane of change and ingenuity. I'm saying that right now, Jamashak, I am here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness. And I'm saying that right now. We're changing this plane from the plane of chance and opportunity to the plane of change and ingenuity. By studying ourselves and applying the knowledge in this age of Aquarius. By studying ourselves and actually applying the knowledge and not giving a fuck about what other people think about you unless you know for a fact they on a higher frequency and you just trying to get on a higher frequency of thought. And you want to, there's nothing wrong with attachments. There's nothing wrong with attachments. You just have to have healthy attachments. Have healthy attachments. You gotta, when it comes to having healthy attachments, you have to first attach yourself to healthy perspectives and healthy thoughts, which will in turn give you healthy feelings, which will in turn make you make healthy actions, which will in turn make you make a healthy environment for yourself. And that healthy environment is going to promote your healthy perspective. And then it's going to be a constant wheel, a cycle of consciousness to where you're just in a state of health, overall health, your whole body, your whole mind, because your body is your mind and your mind is your soul. Okay? This is Christ consciousness we talking about, man. I am John Mashak, and I'm here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness, man. And I say today, bro, we changing this reality from the reality of chance and opportunity to the reality of change and ingenuity. Today, I'm not playing. We changing this shit right the fuck now. If you listening to me right now, or if you watch this video, get up off your ass and stop fucking just sitting there and proclaim your fucking kingdom. Proclaim the kingdom, because the kingdom is you. Motherfuckers want to talk about Baba G. Motherfuckers want to talk about carbonation. Nigga, stop pointing the fucking finger and think about yourself and how the fuck you making your reality, nigga. The fuck? Nigga, and proclaim your kingdom. Nigga, it's as simple as that. Nigga, we all got fucking demons, nigga. We all got fucking demons. That don't mean you just sit around and let them fester upon you and fucking do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's dumb as hell. The fuck? Study your natal chart, fam. Study your natal chart. Because when you study your natal chart, you study how your mind works. When you study how your mind works, you study how genetics works, how biology works. And then when you study how biology works and how genetics works and how your mind works, you study how all of existence works. And then you must know all of existence. Then you must know that you are God and there can be nothing else. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Okay? La, 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 la. Nigga. There is no one but Allah. There is nothing but Allah. There is nothing but God. You cannot be anything else. You can't be anything else. That's what that phrase means, in case you didn't know. You cannot be anything else but God. So pick up your unk, man. I'm finna get off of here, man. It's a broadcast, man. I'm gonna keep sharing this video for like a whole week at least. I'm gonna just keep sharing this video, man. Like, cause motherfuckers, bruh. Dude, you gotta get out of a negative thought space. Like the more you start thinking positive or not even positive, you gotta be a balanced perspective. A healthy perspective about things. The more situations gonna change up in your life for where you have healthy experiences. It's just point blank period. That's what's gonna happen. It's just simple mathematics. 1, 2, 3, nigga. Like 1 + 1. See what I'm saying? Like, you put it all together, G-I-J, J = 0, nigga. We know what's happening. Shit. And I'm glad to be a person, a part of this change. I'm glad to be someone that can push and promote divine knowledge of self to our community. You know what I'm saying? To our becoming of a community. Our becoming of a community.